How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Dagwood's Tonsorium. We're doing something a little different today. I was getting a little bit tired of doing the reviews, even though I do have 6 or 7 more soaps to go through. I wanted to do something a little different, plus it was requested that I do a top 10 list or something along those lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my top 15 soap scents. This does not necessarily have anything to do with the performance. This is just the scents and only the scents. This is something I really don't get into a whole lot during my reviews because I try and stay impartial. We are going to do a shave while we're doing this. I'm using something that didn't quite make the cut, but it's still an excellent soap, and that's Ariana and Evans L'Orange Verte. Lathering up the is going to be the Declaration brush. I'm still I want to get a couple more uses on it, and we're going to be using a CV Heljestrand number 32 in ivory. So that's what we're doing. So these are in no particular order, and I want to go over soaps that I have in sample form first, and I didn't count this towards my 15. I got them all sitting over here, so if I pop off screen for a second, that's because I'm going to grab. So the first one, and this is just a wonderful scent. I don't have the best of luck, and it's because I have a feeling it's because I don't have a full tub. But that is Katie's Bubbles Purple Grapefruit. This scent is dynamite. It combines lavender and grapefruit wonderfully. Next one is Chiseled Face Summer Storm. I will be buying purchasing a full tub of this. Oh, it just smells so good. You get a little bit of the ozone. You get some green grass. It smells like a field right after a thunderstorm. It smells really, really good. And then my favorite scent out of all of the samples that I have, and this is including Penna Crema Nuova Green, Verde, Blue, and Rosa, which are all phenomenal scents. But this one just blows them away, and that is Euphros Rosa Bourbon. I am smitten with this scent. This is just a phenomenal soap scent. The rose and the darkness of the bourbon just blend together so well. It's just a gorgeous scent. So out of the samples, I didn't include those in my list. There are 3 that I'll probably end up buying. I almost bought Purple Grapefruit when I was at past tours in New York City, but it's something that's readily available. I wanted to pick soaps up that we can't get anywhere else. So let's get right into it, and we'll go through a couple soaps and then I'll lather up. And the first one is Saponificio Veracino Opuntia. So this is their latest release, and what it is, it's prickly pear. And I was torn on whether I liked this or Stella Alpina better, but smelling them side by side, and really it is no contest. This is such a beautifully crafted scent. It is cologne-y, so if you don't like the cologne type scents, this might not be up your alley. And out of all the scents I have laid out right now, this is probably one of the more cologne-y ones. But cologne-y, if that's a word, thanks KJ, you've introduced a new word to the vocabulary. So while I'm going through this, while I'm talking about the next soap, I'm going to go ahead and start lathering up. But yeah, so first one is SV's Opuntia. So let's go ahead and start loading. So the next soap, hold on. The next soap we're going to go over, and it's SoCal Hipster. I love this scent. It is just a wonderful scent to me. I love it as a soap. It's good as an aftershave too, but talking to my wife and talking to some others, they didn't think it was good as a fragrance to be worn. So just a little too sweet. if you would. So, which is fun. I mean, when I don't have anybody to impress, I'll wear it for myself. But that being said, I love that scent. It's nice and sweet. It's enjoyable. It makes me smile when I smell it. Yeah, so that's the next one. Get all the stuff off of there. Okay, next one is Soapy Science Rosa Pura. Out of all the rose scents, the only one, and I don't really consider Rosa Bourbon a rose scent per se. It is a rose scent. It is a rose forward scent, but it's not an only. Rose isn't the only note in that soap, so it's hard for me just to say, hey, that's a rose scent. It is a rose primary scent. And it is my favorite, rose primary scent or rose based scent. But if you want to talk about just pure rose smell, Rosa Pura is it for me. It's just I love it. I love that rose scent. That's the standard that any rose soap has to measure up to at this point. I know Chris H. Really likes his Bulgarian rose from SCS. I haven't tried that, but for right now, for what I've tried, and that is it right there. Next is going to be a lavender soap, and that is L&L. I got this when it was L&L. It is now Declaration Grooming's Champs de Lavande. This is a collaboration with Chatil and Luxe, and it's a blend of, I think, 5 different lavenders, and it's beautifully done. When I first got this, I was like, oh, this is not what I was expecting, and smelled it, and I was like, okay, it smells okay, but it wasn't that great. And then I put it on, and then I put on the aftershave and fell in love right then and there. This is such a great scent that I took some of my favorite scents on vacation with me recently. SoCal Hipster being one of them, Champs de Lavande being another, and Matterhorn was another one, although that's not one of my favorite scents. Didn't make this list, at least. It's I really do enjoy it. It's just a nice lavender scent. Next up is going to be Ariana and Evans, soap, and that's a Grecian Horse. This was my first Ariana and Evans soap that I bought, and I kind of got lucky. So it's modeled after Parfum de Marly Pegasus, and having just gone through an international airport terminal, I was able to stop by the. It's just that I don't own that, but I was able to stop by the duty free, and of course, Parfum de Marly is there, and was able to smell it. And I'll tell you what, they nailed it. Peter Turkalis nailed it with the Ariana and Evans scent. It smells just like Pegasus. It does have a lot of similar characteristics to Penhaligon's Endymion, the regular Endymion. There's a slightly different opening, and I think this soap is ready. There's a slightly different opening, but outside of that, that shares a lot of the same DNA. So I'm gonna go through, do my hot towel real quick. I'll be right back, and we'll finish up we'll do the shave, and we'll finish up the rest of the list. All right, guys, we're back. Let's go through a couple soaps before we start the shave. I am only going to do one pass for the camera. So next one up is Martin de Condré Fougère. I also love the original, but I love this Fougère. It's what I stack any other Fougère up to. There's only one other Fougère that I consider the equal of this, which I'll get to later on. Next is probably my first favorite soap. And what I mean by my first favorite soap is when I got this and smelled it, I immediately fell in love, and this became my first, I love this soap. And that is Barrister and Man's Adagio. Now, Barrister and Man is very, very hot and cold with me. They either nail it or they totally miss. With this, with patches, with Le Grand Chypre, although my wife does not like Le Grand Chypre, Will at Barrister and Man really did a good job. And then he's got others that were complete misses that I, looking at the scent notes, I went, man, that looks like it's going to smell amazing. And I get it, and it doesn't work for me. But that was Barrister and Man's Adagio is, if pressed to rank these, that would be close to my number one scent. Along with this next one, which is Noble Otter's Thé Noir Vanille. This is just, I smell this and my eyes roll to the back of my head. This is just a beautifully crafted soap scent. Very, very well done by the guys at Noble Otter. There's not much else I can say about it. It's just a beautiful blending of the tea and some sweetness from the strawberry and a little bit of sandalwood and musk in there, I believe. I can't remember off the top of my head, so don't hold me to that. Next one, I mean, this is what kind of drove me into the oud world. And this would also be in my top three, so along with Adagio and a Thé Noir, and that is Holy Cow's King of Oud. Guys, if you're looking for an oud scent, this is it right here. It's got a wonderful blend of the woodiness of the oud. Does have some of the vanilla that comes in and smooths out, because oud on its own can get a little bit bracing, agarwood, in other words, a little bit bracing, but this really, I mean, the additional scent notes in this, there's a lot more going on. There's some florals in there, a little bit of citrus, so you can get the top notes of, but the overriding, the carrier of everything is oud, and it's just a very beautifully done scent by Sri at Holy Cow. Next one is another oud, and actually is one of our vendors here at TSC, and that's Lisa's Coconut Oud. Now, she's about to release a brand new formula for her premium line soaps, and while I've got almost a full tub of this, I'm probably going to be ordering some of the new stuff as well in Coconut Oud. This is just it's a fun scent, and honestly, I was debating this and Mystic Water Coconut Sandalwood gets an honorable mention, but this, between the two, that's hands down for me, this is such a better scent. Just for me, and the reason being, I say honorable mention. The reason being is I like sandalwood, but if you had to scent note wise, if you had to force me to list scent notes, then it wouldn't be in my top 5, 6, 7. It's just not there. Next one, and then we'll get to the shave, is Victory Shaving Company's Champagne Lady. And this is probably my favorite scent from them. And when I smell this, I'm immediately transported back to my childhood, to the summer fairs where there would be a lemonade stand squeezing fresh squeezed lemonade and putting that little pink sugar in there and making a pink lemonade, and that's what this reminds me of. So the notes on it are lemon, lavender, and menthol, and it just smells so darn good. I can't tell you the amount of, every time I smell it, the nostalgia that it kicks up. This is probably the most nostalgic smelling soap that I have, and it's just another one of those fun scents that when you smell it, you smile. So let's start the shave real quick, guys. I'm going to go over a couple of honorable mentions while I'm shaving. Don't want to eat the soap. So, as far as honorable mentions goes, the soap I'm using is an honorable mention. It's really, really enjoyable. It is an orange forward scent, but it's not bracing citrus because it's got a lot of spices that really tone down the sharpness of the citrus. So it's not not as nearly as bright, but it's not dark like Terre d'Hermes or fine L'Orange Noir. Tell you what, this brush knot is awesome. So, another soap that gets an honorable mention is Soap Commander's Recreation. Talk about a fun summer scent. And somebody mentioned on there that it smelled like a pina colada. Somebody mentioned in my video description that it smelled like a pina colada, and I definitely can sense that. I get that sensation of possibly being a pina colada, but the fig in it really throws me off from making that assessment. Another soap that definitely gets an honorable mention, and I was close to pulling out, but again, it goes back to I enjoy oud more than I enjoy sandalwood, and so I really couldn't justify putting a sandalwood in this list, and that is Fine's Santal Absolute. And talking to people, it seems to be the closest match to the old Art of Shaving sandalwood tallow. And I'll tell you, if there's a sandalwood that if you forced me to pick one soap and it had to be sandalwood, that would probably be it, along with Mystic Water Sandalwood Coconut, or Coconut Sandalwood. Those two are the sandalwood soaps that make the best argument for that scent profile in my den. Another soap that almost made the cut was Holy Cow's Fern Concerto. That is an extremely citrus-forward fougere. Really well blended by Sri, but it kicks off with a really strong bite of bright citrus. Before being rounded out by the typical fougere notes of geranium and oak moss. So, yeah, just a wonderful scent. Sorry guys, I'm enjoying this. Alright, so I'm going to go through. I'm going to finish my shave. We'll come back, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 more soaps, or 3 more soaps to go over. All right, guys. Be right back. All right, guys, we got 3 more soaps to go through. Shave ended up being really, really good. So first one is Asylum Shave Works Royal Fougere. Now this is actually the soap base for this is actually made by WSP. And I'll tell you what, this is wonder in a jar. This is probably, while Martin de Condé is the bar at which I set, this is the standard for Fougeres for me. This is my favorite Fougere. This is a great interpretation of English Fern, and from talking to Dave, Skype side / Xeno Straight Shaver, this has a mix, is a direct mix of English Fern and Wild Fern by GOF Trumper. Just a wonderful, wonderful scent, and the soap base is pretty good too. So that's one of the last 3, and then the last 2 are from the same company. They're the same type of soap, and they kind of hit my sweet spot for what I like. If you couldn't tell, I'm a big fan of citrus and I'm a big fan of lavender, and I do like a good head of menthol. So Lavender Creeper, the scent on Lavender Creeper is just awesome, but this is amazing. Really? Orange Creamsicle? Oh. Now, that being said, there are a couple other soaps on the market that mimic Orange Creamsicle, but none of them have the Coolada cooling agent in it. So, yeah, ended up having a good shave with L'Orange Verte. This is another one that makes the honorable mention list. I just happened to be shaving with it today. But I hope you guys enjoyed the list. Like I said, there's no particular order. I'm not really stacking these up against one another because I go through and I'm like, oh, I need that. I really like that scent. I really like that scent. Oh, but I really like this scent too. Oh man. And before I knew it, I was at 10 soaps and I was like, this got to get expanded because I can't, and I'd go and I grabbed all the soaps that I just, I would struggle over choosing over one another and put those, and it ended up being right around 15 soaps. So, but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't checked us out at The Shaving Cadre, come by, check us out, www.theshavingcadre.com, and we'll see you there. Peace.